What's going on, everybody? Gunnar here. Welcome to part 4 of the finesse jig fly lures for spin fishing. This last one is probably the simplest, but it has a little bit of rigging involved. And we're going to tie a leech pattern, and we're going to only use rabbit zonkers. Leech jig. And I promise you, man, that's got way more movement than anything you can buy in a store right there. And I'm looking around because I don't know where I put my big ones. But I'll find them in a second. But basically, you want to look for two different kinds of rabbit zonkers because they'll take a hide and they'll cut it vertically so the hair and the leather go in the same direction. That's ideal for using as a tailing material or as a wing. But then they also cut the hide horizontally, which is designed to be wrapped around the hook, and it's absolutely perfect for just filling in a hook shank. So you want both. Now my tail is going to be a magnum cut, which is a full 1/4 inch, and then our body is going to be this cross-cut zonker, which is usually 1/8 of an inch. It's quite a bit of a skinnier hide there, but those are the two you're looking for. Now if you just take hide and you put it on the hook, I guess as a leech I want it to ride like this. What I don't want is I don't ever want this tail to fall, so we're going to reinforce this pretty simply. And what I want to do first is going to start my thread just to get this hanging off of here so it's where I need it when I need it. Make sure I cut that off. I'm still using the same 6 1/1000ths of an inch monofilament that we've been using for the whole series so far. Come back here to basically my tying point. Now I'm just going to get this zonker on, in place, and out of my way, and then we'll reinforce it here in a second. So I'm going to basically take this hide, and I can make it shorter once it's tied in, but I'm going to push that hide dead center through my hook past the barb, relax my vise here, and bring it down onto my hook shank. Then I'm just going to take this, come up with a nice thread, and cinch her down. Now use that leather to kind of fill in that shank, because you're not going to want to go from this dead bare shank up to there. So use that to just fill it in. Makes it quite simple. Now if you come here to the underside, I can reinforce this quite simply with a stiff piece of monofilament. So this is 28/1000ths of an inch, and I learned this trick from Bob Popovic's, but it's a really simple technique. You're going to take a bodkin, let's say we're going to go back about 1 inch or so, just poke a hole through that leather hide right there. I'm going to take some heavy mono, 28/1000ths of an inch again. I'm going to poke it, if I can get it to go through that same hole, through my hide, just like that. We're going to take a lighter and melt that end so it gets nice and round on us, just to stop it from backing out. Help that sucker to cool off. I can pull that back down. I don't want to pull it out, but I can pull it back down. And now I can just lash that mono to the underside of my hook. And so that last inch or so is reinforced here to stop that from following. I'm going to use quite a bit of room here to make sure that that's tied down appropriately. Talk about simple, easy, after the fact, but that's kind of the extra rigging that I was referring to. Now I think I forgot to mention, but I'm using a 1/32 ounce jig. Now again, I can come and make this shorter if I want to, but so far so good. I'm going to hit that monofilament with some Zap-A-Gap just so it's truly locked in under that thread there. Now what you're going to do to finish this fly is you're going to come in with that cross-cut rabbit zonker, and the tie-off is a little dirty, and when I say dirty I just mean it's a little bit higher profile, but it's all the same, it doesn't matter. The fly's going to fish just fine. And you can see the hair, it lays down even though the hide is horizontal, and that's perfect for filling in a body like this. Now I'm going to clean a section of the hide away. I'm going to make it so that it's bare naked. I'm just going to kind of fill it in so it's tied in the full length, and I don't have a weird bump from where that hide starts and stops. if that makes sense. So my hide goes the full length of the fly, just so I don't have a weird ridge line or something in the middle of this fly. Now currently, this is wrapping the way I wouldn't recommend. I'm wrapping it counterclockwise, but that's the way the hide was cut, so I'm just going to work with it. So I'm just going to palmer that around that hook shank, get up to the hook eye here, take my thread, bring it through, pull straight down and really lock that in place. Let's see if I can't get a really clean cut on this. And cut that off. Now I'm just going to take, I don't know, that full kind of first 1/16 of an inch and just fill it up with some thread so that there's a lot of pressure on top of that zonker hide. She's not going anywhere. Just fill in that jig eye, just like that. Throw in a little whip finish, cut her loose. Then I'm going to take my Zap-A-Gap and just make sure that that whip finish is going to hold forever. And that is a stupid simple leech pattern. Perfect for fishing walleyes, catfish, smallmouth bass, everything that eats a leech, which is just about everything. And again, if you want to make a little 3-inch leech, 4-inch leech, 5-inch leech, you can make the tails as long as you want, and they're reinforced right there at that first inch or so, so they're not going to come up and wrap around that hook while you're casting. And that is the finished product right there. Super simple, ultra simple leech jig. And I promise you, man, that's got way more movement than anything you can buy in a store right there. So that's all I got for you guys. That's the series. 4 simple flies using bare minimum material, matching 4 different forages: baitfish, buggers, crayfish, and leeches, all designed to be fished on ultralight spin gear. I hope you guys found that fun and followed along and tie some up, because come 2020, I'm going to take these flies, these exact flies from this series, fishing. And we'll stick some fish, and I'll show you guys just how I intended them to be worked and fished, and how to read some water and put you guys on some fish so that you can start crafting your own lures without necessarily having to dive into fly fishing. If that's something you don't want to get into, but you're interested in making your own lures, this is where to start. So thanks for watching. Have a good one, and come back in 2020 and check out the fishing videos. See ya.